Hi everyone. Welcome to English Story School. What if I told you that every second you waste today is a second you'll never get back? What if today, right now, could be the moment that changes everything? Part 1. The wake-up call. Have you ever woken up feeling like the world is moving without you? Like the day is already running ahead, leaving you behind? Maybe you felt the weight of those mornings when the sunlight barely reaches through the curtains, when the quiet of the world outside calls for you to stay in bed just a little longer. The comfort of the covers feels too inviting, and the idea of getting up seems like a monumental task. You feel as though the world is already in motion, and you're stuck, immobilized by the thought of facing another day. And then there's that moment. The moment when you realize the clock is ticking. Every second that passes, every minute you spend lying there, every time you hit the snooze button, you're allowing life to move on without you. What if I told you that every moment you spend delaying your dreams, each minute you squander thinking, "I'll do it tomorrow," is a moment lost forever? A moment that could have been spent moving closer to the life you desire. A moment that could have been spent shaping your future, taking action, and changing your life. But let's be real for a second. How many times have you allowed life's challenges to slow you down? How many times have you said, "I'll do it tomorrow"? It's easy to think that you have all the time in the world, but the truth is far harsher than we like to admit. Time doesn't wait. Time doesn't care about your plans. Time doesn't care about your doubts or your fears. Every second is fleeting, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. You think, "Oh, I'll start tomorrow. I'll get to it when I feel ready." But let me ask you something. When exactly will you feel ready? When will the perfect moment come? When will all the stars align for you to take that first step? Here's the truth, it won't. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The perfect time is a myth. The only moment that matters is now. Imagine this. The alarm rings. You wake up, but you choose to stay in bed. You justify it in your mind, just a few more minutes. And before you know it, an hour has passed, and you've missed the window of opportunity. That's it. The day is already slipping by. What if you had gotten up even when you didn't feel like it? What if you had made the decision to attack the day, to take control of your time, to be the one who decides how your day unfolds? Quote, "Time is what we want most, but what we use worst." William Penn. You see, it's not about being motivated every single moment. It's not about waiting for the perfect inspiration to hit you. It's about doing it anyway. It's about waking up and choosing to attack the day with everything you've got, even when it's hard. The world doesn't wait, and neither should you. Every second you waste, every second you hesitate, you're allowing opportunities to slip through your fingers. Opportunities that could change your life, could shape your destiny, could give you the success and happiness you've always dreamed of. And here's the most important part. You don't need to wait for someone else to tell you it's time. You don't need validation. You don't need a sign. What you need is the decision to act, the decision to rise and shine no matter how tired you feel, no matter how impossible it may seem. There's no more tomorrow. The time is now. The clock is ticking, and each tick is a reminder that time doesn't care about your hesitation. But here's the good news. You control how you spend it. You have the power to decide what to do with each second. And right now, you have the power to make a change. You can either wake up, rise, and conquer the day, or you can stay in your comfort zone and let the world pass you by. The choice is yours. But know this, the choice to wait is also a choice to keep letting life pass you by. And I promise you, you don't want to get to the end of your life and wonder, what if I had attacked the day from the beginning? Quote, "The future depends on what we do in the present." Mahatma Gandhi. So what will it be? Will you keep letting time slip away, or will you choose to wake up, attack, and take full control of your destiny? The choice is simple, but it's not always easy. The easy thing is to stay comfortable, stay where you are, and convince yourself that tomorrow will be better. But the hard thing, the thing that will change your life, is to take that first step, to push yourself, to rise up, not because you feel like it, but because you know that every second counts. And guess what? You're not alone in this. Everyone around you is facing the same challenge, the decision to rise and take action. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simply this. Those who succeed choose to take action now. They wake up and attack. They make every second count. It's time. Time to stop waiting. Time to stop hesitating. Time to stop making excuses. The clock is ticking, and you're the one in charge of how you use it. Wake up, attack, and make every second count. Quote, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." Abraham Lincoln. It's not just about being awake. It's about being alive, fully alive to the opportunities that lie before you. Life is happening right now, and every second is a chance to step up, take charge, and move closer to the person you're meant to be. So, let's go. Wake up and attack. Every second counts. And trust me, you've got everything it takes to make it count. Part 2. The awakening moment. Imagine this. You wake up. The first thing you feel is that weight in your body, the heaviness of a night's rest that hasn't quite recharged you. You lie there, motionless, your body nestled under the covers, warm, almost too comfortable to leave. The world outside is still asleep, wrapped in the serenity of an early morning. The air is still, and the silence feels like an invitation to linger, to hold on to the comfort of your bed just a little longer. But then you feel it. There's something stirring deep within you, a fire that's been smoldering, waiting for the right moment to ignite. The quiet stillness of the room contrasts sharply with the urgency building in your chest. You can feel it, that burning desire to do more, to be more. It's a call that's been whispering to you for as long as you can remember. It's telling you, this is your time. This is the moment to rise. But what do you do with this feeling? Instead of taking action, you reach for your phone. The screen lights up, and there it is, the endless scroll of social media. You're drawn in by the lives of others, their accomplishments, their celebrations, their highlight reels. You get caught in the trap. You scroll aimlessly, lost in a sea of posts, updates, and notifications. You watch others live their dreams, while you remain stuck in the same routine. Sound familiar? For many of us, this has become the default way of life. We wake up, and instead of seizing the day, we allow distractions to pull us deeper into the comfort zone. We tell ourselves, I'll get to it later. But here's the reality check. Later doesn't come. It never does. As you keep scrolling, as you waste precious minutes and hours comparing your life to others, you lose time. The clock is ticking, but it feels like time itself is slipping through your fingers unnoticed, undetected, like grains of sand falling through an hourglass. But then something happens. You feel it, the shift. It's subtle at first, like a faint whisper in your mind, but it grows louder, more insistent. It's the realization that time is your most valuable asset. It's not money. It's not success. It's not popularity. It's time. The one thing that you can never get back once it's gone. And you start to see it for what it truly is, a limited resource, one that is slipping away second by second, minute by minute. What you do with these seconds, these minutes, these hours is entirely up to you. And when you fully understand this, something incredible happens. The realization hits like a wave crashing over you. You stop wasting time. You start taking control. You wake up to the fact that you hold the power to shape your future, and that power is right here, right now. Every decision you make today impacts the person you become tomorrow. Quote, "The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities." Stephen Covey. So now, The big question remains, what do you do with this newfound realization? Do you sink back into the comfort of your bed, giving in to the distractions of the world around you? Or do you rise? Do you fight for the life you've always dreamed of? Do you stand tall, grab the day by the horns, and make every second count? The choice is yours. Every moment, every action, every decision you make from this point on will either bring you closer to your goals or further away from them. Will you let the world's noise drown out your inner calling? Or will you use the clarity you've just gained to push forward, to take action, to make something meaningful of your life? It's time to stop hesitating. It's time to stop waiting for the right moment. There's no magic time that will appear where everything will align perfectly. No, the magic happens when you decide to step into your power. The magic happens when you rise, when you take control of your time, and when you make every second count. Think about it. Every second you waste on distractions is a second you'll never get back. But every second you spend on purpose, on your goals, on your dreams, on your vision for your future, is a second that's building the life you want to live. Each second becomes a building block for the life that's waiting for you. And that life? It's not just about success. It's about fulfillment. It's about waking up every single day knowing that you're moving forward, knowing that you're living intentionally. Quote, "Time is what we want most, but what we use worst." William Penn. Imagine waking up every morning with this clarity. Imagine starting each day with the understanding that the time you have today will never come again. Imagine using each second of your day to make progress. It's not about perfection. It's about consistent, deliberate action. Every step you take today sets the course for tomorrow. Every choice you make today determines how you'll feel when you look back at your life in a few years. So now, the ball is in your court. You've awakened to the truth that time is your most valuable resource. You've realized that you control how you spend it. Now, what will you do with that power? Will you let it slip away, or will you use it to create the life you've always wanted? Will you stand up, face the world, and attack the day with everything you've got? Or will you stay in bed, scrolling through someone else's story, while your own story remains untold? The choice is yours. Quote, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." Steve Jobs. It's time to rise. It's time to take action. And it's time to make every second count. Part 3. The attack. Now, the time has come. No more excuses. No more waiting. You've made the decision. You're not standing on the sidelines anymore. You're ready to jump into the game and fight for your dreams. You've felt the spark. You've had the awakening. And now it's time to attack. But here's the thing about attacking. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. The bed still feels inviting. The warmth of the blankets still has a pull on you. And the comfort zone, that old enemy, is whispering your name, telling you to take it easy, just rest a little longer. The world out there still seems big, overwhelming even. The tasks ahead of you look impossible. The obstacles seem insurmountable, and the fear of failure feels like it's wrapping its arms around you, trying to hold you back. But you've made a choice. You're no longer listening to those voices. You take your first step. It's shaky, hesitant, filled with doubt, but it's a step forward. The hardest part is always the first step, isn't it? The moment when you move from thoughts to action, when you commit to leaving behind the safety of your comfort zone. But once you take that first step, something changes. You've crossed a line. You've told yourself, "I'm done waiting. I'm done being afraid. I'm done standing still." And with that first movement, something shifts inside of you. A new version of yourself begins to emerge. One who is brave, bold, and unafraid of the unknown. Quote, "Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out." Robert Collier. Each step you take after that becomes a victory in itself. The doubt that once paralyzed you start to lose its grip, and with every action you take, you break free from its hold. The path ahead may not be clear, the future may still be uncertain, but you know one thing for sure. You've made the decision to keep moving forward, and that is the first and most crucial victory. But this is where the real battle begins. The world isn't going to hand you success. It won't just fall into your lap, and no one is going to cheer you on every step of the way. In fact, the further you go, the harder it gets. The more you push yourself, the more resistance you feel. The more you stretch your limits, the more your doubts, your fears, and your insecurities try to pull you back. And here's the truth. This is where most people give up. When things get hard, when the path becomes tough, when the setbacks come, they stop. They take a break. They return to the comfort zone, convinced that the world is just too big and too unforgiving. But that's not you. When you feel that resistance, when you feel the weight of self-doubt, that's when you push harder. That's when you dig deeper. Because the truth is, every time you push past those feelings, every time you face that discomfort, that's when a magic happens. That's when a growth happens. You unlock a version of yourself that you never thought was possible. The more you attack, the stronger you become. The more you fight, the more resilient you grow. Think about it. The greatest victories in history weren't achieved by those who played it safe. They weren't achieved by those who stayed comfortable. They were won by those who, when faced with fear, decided to move forward anyway. They were won by those who, when faced with failure, decided to get back up and try again. Quote, "The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today." Franklin D. Roosevelt. You know, different. You have that same power inside of you. The only difference between where you are now and where you want to be is your willingness to fight through the hard moments, to push through the pain, to rise above the doubts, to look at every setback as an opportunity, every failure as a lesson, and every obstacle as a stepping stone. You've taken the first step. Now you must keep moving, keep attacking. With each step, you gain ground. With each victory, you get closer to the life you've dreamed of. And with every bit of resistance you face, you grow stronger, wiser, and more determined. But it's important to remember, this journey is not a sprint. It's not about rushing to the finish line. It's about persistence. It's about showing up every day, no matter how difficult it gets. It's about making the commitment to never give up, to keep attacking no matter what. Every day is a new battle, but with each attack, you move closer to your goal. And eventually, those small victories add up to something much bigger. When you push past your limits, that's when you realize what you're truly capable of. That's when you tap into a well of strength that you didn't know you had. And every time you reach a new level, you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving greatness. Quote, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." Nelson Mandela. This is not just about chasing success. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, overcoming your inner fears, and conquering every challenge that stands in your way. You've made the decision. Now, every step forward is a victory, and with every victory, you grow closer to your goal. The attack has begun. The battle is on. And the only thing that will stop you is if you choose to stop fighting. But you're not stopping. Not now. Not ever. You're in this for the long haul. So keep going. Keep attacking. With every ounce of energy, every bit of strength, and every bit of courage you've got, keep moving forward. Because in the end, it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep going. And let me tell you something, you've got what it takes. You've always had it. Now it's time to attack, to fight, to win. Part 4, the struggle. But wait, before you get too comfortable with the idea of victory, let me remind you of something. Life isn't always smooth sailing. In fact, no one ever promised that it would be. Success doesn't come with a golden ticket, and the path to greatness is rarely paved with ease. Sure, it's easy to be motivated at the start, to feel that rush of excitement when you first make the decision to rise and attack. But what happens when that initial spark begins to fade? When the excitement that carried you forward starts to dwindle, and the reality of your journey hits you in full force. That's when the real test begins. It's the middle part of the journey, the part that no one tells you about, the part where the novelty wears off, and you're left with nothing but doubt, fatigue, and fear. The part where the finish line seems impossibly far away, and the obstacles ahead seem insurmountable. This is where most people give up. This is where the magic happens for them. The ones who decide that it's just too hard, the ones who believe they've hit their limit, the ones who think they're not strong enough. Quote, "It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up." Vince Lombardi. But not you. Not this time. You're different. You made it this far, and you're not backing down now. You see, this is where the difference between those who succeed and those who don't lies. It's right here in the struggle. When everything seems tough, when you feel exhausted and uncertain, when the doubts creep in and make you question whether this is even worth it, this is when you dig deep. This is when you find your true strength, your true resilience. Most people start strong. The excitement drives them. But when the storm comes, when the winds of life blow hard against them, they stop. They lose steam. They falter. And who could blame them? It's hard. It's uncomfortable. It's overwhelming. But you've decided that no matter what, you're going to keep going. You know that every struggle, every setback, every challenge you face is just another step closer to your breakthrough. You understand that the struggles are not roadblocks. They're stepping stones. You see them for what they are, opportunities to grow, to become stronger, to build a foundation that will carry you to the success you deserve. Every time you face a setback, every time you stumble, you don't give up. You don't let the fear of failure stop you. You rise, and you rise stronger. Every fall makes you more resilient, more determined. Every challenge you face sharpens your mind, strengthens your heart, and fortifies your spirit. Quote, "The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow." Robert 2. Let me tell you something. No one has ever reached greatness without facing adversity. No one has ever become extraordinary without experiencing the agony of struggle. It's easy to think that the greats were just lucky or that their success came effortlessly. But the truth is, they faced the same doubts, the same obstacles, the same struggles as you. The difference is that they didn't give up. They didn't let the struggle define them. They let it refine them. You're in the middle of the battle now, and that's okay. It's supposed to be tough. This is where the magic happens, remember? This is where you separate yourself from the crowd. You see, the middle part of the journey is where most people quit. The beginning is exciting, and the end promises success, but the middle is the place where your true character is tested. This is where the warriors are made. When you feel like giving up, when the fatigue and doubts set in, remember why you started. Remember the feeling of that first step, that spark that ignited something deep inside you. Don't let it die just because it's hard. Push forward. Keep moving. Even when it feels like you can't take another step, take one more. Even when the road seems too long, keep walking. It's the ones who persist through this phase, who face the hardest battles head on, that win in the end. You may stumble. You may fall. It's part of the process. It's part of being human. But the most important thing is this: you rise. Every single time. And with each rise, you grow. You become stronger, more resilient. You build a muscle, not just in your body, but in your mind, in your spirit. And that's how you win. That's how you get through the struggle. You don't let it break you. You let it make you. Quote, fall 7 times, stand up 8. Japanese proverb. There is no magic formula for success. There's no easy road. But there is something incredible that happens when you decide to keep fighting, even when it's tough. That's when the world starts to take notice. That's when you start to feel the strength growing within you. That's when the struggle becomes the foundation of your triumph. So what are you going to do? Are you going to let the struggles hold you back? Or are you going to face them head on and use them to fuel your journey? Are you going to let fear and fatigue stop you in your tracks? Or are you going to rise above them and become the person you were always meant to be? This is your moment. The struggle is not the end. It's just the beginning. And when you look back, you'll see that each hardship, each challenge, each moment of doubt was just another stepping stone to your success. The fight is real. The struggle is tough. But you're tougher. And in the end, you will rise stronger than you ever thought possible. Quote, do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Bruce Lee. Now it's time to keep pushing forward. Part 5, the victory. You've been through all. Every hurdle, every setback, every obstacle that life threw your way. You've faced mornings when the bed seemed too comfortable to leave, when the thought of getting up felt like a battle in itself. You've encountered those moments of doubt, when giving up seemed like the easier choice, when fear whispered in your ear, what if you fail? But guess what? You didn't give up. You kept going. And now, as you look back, you realize something powerful. You've won. Every single second that you once thought was a burden, every step that felt impossible, was worth it. Because you took each second, each moment, and you attacked it with all the energy, all the passion you could muster. No more hesitation. No more waiting. You chose action, and it has brought you here. The victories you've achieved so far were just the beginning. Yes, you made it through some tough times, and yes, you've faced challenges that tested every ounce of your strength. But now, as you stand at the top of your mountain, looking down at how far you've come, you realize something incredible. This journey, it's far from over. In fact, it's just begun. You're not the same person you were at the start. The person who hesitated. The person who was afraid to take the first step. The person who worried about what others might think. That person is gone. You've transformed. You've evolved. The struggles, the doubts, the fears, they were just stepping stones that shaped you into someone unstoppable. You've leveled up, and there's no going back. You've become the kind of person who refuses to let life dictate your terms. You're the one who calls the shots now. Quote, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. You didn't just wake up today. You woke up with purpose. You didn't just go through the motions of life, waiting for things to happen to you. You made them happen. You grabbed life by the horns and attacked it with everything you've got. Every second that passed, you made it count. And that's what got you here. But here's the thing. The victory you're experiencing today, it's not the end. It's just another milestone in your journey. There's still more to do, more to achieve, more lives to impact, more growth to experience. The mountain you're standing on is only the beginning of an even higher peak to climb. Your dreams? They're just getting started. With every victory, you grow stronger. But with every new challenge, you become even more unstoppable. The person you are today is just a glimpse of the person you will become. And that's what makes this journey so exciting. There's always something more to strive for, something bigger to aim for. But you now know the secret to success. It's in your hands. You control your destiny. You decide how high you'll climb. And you've already proven that no matter how tough the journey gets, you will never stop. Quote, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln. As you stand on the top of your mountain, looking out over the horizon, you feel a sense of peace. You know that the road ahead won't always be easy, but you also know that you're ready for whatever comes your way. You've got the strength, the resilience, and the determination to face any challenge and overcome it. The future is yours to create, and you're more than capable of shaping it however you see fit. This victory, it's just the beginning. The next victory, the next challenge, the next moment of doubt, it's all part of the journey. But now you're ready. You've proven that you've got what it takes. You know that every second counts, and you're going to make every one of them matter. Quote, "Don't watch the clock, do what it does." Keep going. Sam Levinson. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, wake up, attack, and make every second count.